Basically, this whole thing is about how do we channelize our emotions to achieve what each one of us want, right? So I generally had a talk with Dr. Kavita and what are the challenges most of the people in terms of from different level face, and she did mention to me that it's stress, emotional kind of a thing, negative thoughts, and probably low energy, and a lot of other things. And I'm not surprised because these are the same things what each one of probably the employees in Wipros and Cisco's and Infosys face. It's no different. So how is it that probably some of us can handle and manage it better, and some of us succumb to it, and probably it begins to affect the performance. It all comes down to in terms of what happens in between the years. It's basically how we interpret things in terms of when we look at a situation and how do we see it and how it's going to affect us. Using a 4.2 version operating system, suppose I use a 5.0, that's a lollipop, that's the latest version, what do you think will happen to the phone? Do you think the phone will begin to function in a different way, better way? Probably yes, but most of the time the phone, the same hardware, would begin to function differently, correct? Because they would have worked at what probably is making this phone not function properly, and they would have worked on a lot of things for it to become a better phone, ideally speaking, right? And what do you think is the operating system for each one of us, the human beings here? I mean, for all of us, what do you think is the operating system? Brain is a very large, vast subject. Probably people know a lot more about Mars and the Plutos and even to a large extent the Sun, but the brain not many people know. How is it that, say, somebody can go and say, hey, you know what, let's upgrade Satish's operating system and make it a better version? There's no service center which does that, right? I mean, I'm not aware of. Is there any service center which upgrades our own operating system? It happens by doing things on a regular basis, by doing certain things in certain ways which activate the subconscious mind. What are the things that probably each one of us can do to work at this level? How can we engage the subconscious mind, which probably can make X a better person? Probably X is working at a level, he or she works at the subconscious level, does the changes there. Now this is the operating system, and that's primarily a permanent change which happens. So the thing here is, I'm more focused in terms of how can we unlock our own potential and break through barriers which we created. What is it that we can all do probably on a daily basis in terms of overcoming these barriers? And that's focused on, and my whole approach is that. I know that there are a lot of other questions on the EQ part and depression, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing in terms of how I as a person can help each one of you to unlock your own potential and break through your barriers. What happens is, see, this exercise, right, when somebody thinks that he can only do this much in his life, it can be in any field, it can be in your health issue, it can be running a marathon, it can be probably doing certain tasks which you're doing on a daily basis. But in your mind, when you see yourself doing a little more, most of the time people end up doing 30%. How can you relate that to your life? How can each one of you can see things happening? Probably it can be probably become more healthy. It can be getting your next level of designation which you're looking at. If you can see that in your mind first, and the body will automatically kind of respond. What I'm focusing more is, what is it that we can do very specific to work on creating that very powerful image of what we want to be and overcome and come out of unlock our own potential. See, each one of us can do a lot better. It can be personally, professionally, financially, anything. Do you agree with that? Each one of us can do far, far more better than what we are doing right now. We can work at a different level altogether. But then how is it that you can do something which is in your control on a daily basis to help you to do things at the level where you want to perform, right? So I'm going to teach you a very simple, probably I'll show you to you, so each one of you can probably do it, and then we'll talk in terms of how we can work a little further. So if you can permit me, I'll just help you do a small technique on all of you together. If you're seeing an image in color, just see it in black and white. Simple. You have to condition your mind to see that particular in black and white and push that particular image or incident away from you. If it's very close to you, push it away from you. In your mind. When you do that, automatically what happens, the impact from here at a level of 0 to 10, 10 probably being the highest, it drops to 2. I'll guarantee if you can probably do it even right now, you will notice a significant level in drop in how much is affecting you internally. Somebody did speak about depression. Now depression is nothing but, EQ is nothing but how we handle these things internally and how we keep playing some things which we're not very proud of again and again, again and again, again and again. I mean, I had worked with a lot of people probably who had gone through a lot of physical abuse when they were kids. Emotional abuse as kids. And these guys are at the top of the level. They are the CEOs of company. But just because they had gone through something which is 40 years back, it was playing around with them in the confidence level. It was playing around with them in terms of they probably outburst of anger. Probably it's happened 40 years back. They were physically probably abused, emotionally abused as a kid. But something, imagine 40 years back, if somebody is sitting as a CEO level or anything, any level, I'm not even saying at that level, anybody, it keeps playing around with us because in the subconscious mind, it keeps happening again and again, again and again. So the very easy way to break those patterns is, one other way is this thing, change the image. If you can probably quickly change the image and make it black and white, make it go away from you, the impact drops drastically. And if the same thing you want to make it more impactful, if you're looking at a promotion happening, how many of us are looking at promotion? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, okay, fine. I forgot I'm actually in a government setup. If I told this in, if I told this in Wipro Info, everybody would have jumped on the chair and said, I want to get promoted, I want to get promoted. Anyway, so coming back here, probably why I'm telling you this is because, see, if you do the opposite of what I said to drop the, the impact of any negative incident, if you want something to happen, if you probably want to lose weight, okay, that's a very safe subject. Everybody wants to lose weight. Say, suppose, how would it be if each one of us lost 5 kgs or 10 kgs? Now, why I'm saying this is because, see, when I can break habits, which is, how many of you have heard saying that, hey, we can't let go of smoking, I cannot give smoking, it's very addictive. You would have heard probably anybody within your family members. It's false. I'm there, an example. If we have to do something, we will do it. Simple as that. How is willpower created? Willpower is created here. How is it that, somebody can hit a double century and suddenly everybody says, hey, you know what, I can also hit. What is it that happens? It happens because our thoughts create a reality. When I believe that I can be healthy, when I believe that I can lose 10 kgs, when I believe that I can probably work at this level, and when you start seeing that happening even before if it happens, you see that in images as color, you hear something, use most of your sense organs, that's when that's the software of the mind, simple as that, nothing else. You begin to do a lot of things which will help you to get to what image you created. Without we knowing, we create a very, very negative image of ourselves. That's because we get exposed to a lot of negative things on a daily basis. You open a paper, you see that. You look at news, there's only negative things. There's nothing positive. It says this murder, that one, this scam, that scam. We're exposed to all the time with negative things. And what happens when you are exposed to a lot of times, thing again and again? What happens? It's actually a fact. But don't we think that when we get exposed to a daily basis, a lot of things, we tend to start living that. Over a period of time, we become the frog in that water. It becomes too hot and we perish. So it's very important that we break a pattern, a thought process, because our thoughts create a reality. What we feed, that becomes a reality. Like if I change the thought process when you took the lemon into something else, I would have ensured none of you would have salivated. You would have probably done something else if I just changed this thing. But it didn't happen, correct? The reason is because I know exactly how your thoughts can make your reality. So how is all these things going to help each one of us? It's because each one of us have got our own thing in our control. It's right here. How we program it, how we do things on a daily basis, what is it that we want? First, we need to identify the fact that, hey, you know what, I need to do this. I want this. This is what I want, the end results. You create that powerful image and then start feeding your subconscious with that particular thought. It can be as simple as probably want to lose weight. Start seeing yourself. Can you all see yourself 10 kgs lesser in weight? You can, right? It is possible. See, it's because your own. You can see how each one of us would be when we are 5 kg less or 10 kg less. See how you feel. Create that image, and that will become your thought. I go to companies and I help them and walk to them. See, it's only not physical well-being, because I'm more worried about the emotional part. Physical, everybody knows. You do a little bit of exercise, you do a little bit of eat healthy, sleep on time, you can get. But what do you do to ensure that you work at the emotional level different? Now, I specifically work on that area. I work with some of the biggest corporates here. And I go there and do the talking. I work with one-to-one with people. And I help them work at this level. Not that I don't help in the other level, but primarily I work at this level. So there's just a few things. I mean, you might see a lot more in my blogs. You can see a lot more in my Facebook page if you're active in Facebook, or in Twitter. Wherever you're most welcome to connect with me. Information is free. You can just take it and see how you can use. Because you heard me now, you would actually know how you can do small things on a daily basis which can make a big difference. It's like, systematic investment planning. The compound interest. The magic of compound interest is, over a period of time, it gets accumulated so much. It's one of the most easiest way to save money. It's simple, but how many of us do it? Because we say, boss, who will think of 30 years? We don't know what would have happened. But start somewhere. Same thing happens with here. Working on your own self, working on your own mind. How do you break patterns? How do you create that image? How do you ensure that, you start probably starting a healthy habit of meditation? I mean, I just scraped through a lot of stuff. But of course, if a lot more time is there, I can get into depth of a lot of these things. But I'm sure probably some of you, see, my goal is each one of you walk out of this room with one learning. I'm happy. My job is done. As simple as that. So I don't know if you picked up anything which was worthwhile, because from the last almost a couple of decades, I've been working with people. I'm working with people one-to-one. I'm working with people, in terms of breaking their old patterns, creating new patterns, and creating a very powerful vision.